Yo, dude, I'm on like F5 of the actual anime, and I'm glad I started with the live action first, yo. Damn, like it's good. Like I see two completely different perspectives on this shit. I'm like an iguana. Hey, everybody, what's up? Yeah, we're talking about Cowboy Bebop, which, as you all know, must have seen somewhere, got spectacularly canceled. And I say spectacularly because, like, it gets me tight, though, because they hype it up so much. You know, the casting, announcement, so-and-so got cast, so-and-so got cast is like, at least give it another season. You know what I mean? Like,
and I think especially with because then you're right, because it got so much hype. And then also even that first week, you know, when it was out, it was like #1 show on Netflix. And it's like, it's trending. And it's like, so it's like, fuck yeah. I mean, more hype. And then canceled like what, 3 weeks later? Like, right?
Yo, I like, okay, this is Rod. So I actually like that they're ruthless at Netflix.
Savage.
Low key. Hot take. I feel like Netflix has a weak offering. I feel like ever since they lost the Marvel shows, I'm like, why does anybody do this anymore? And even Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder, like, much respect. It wasn't like all that. Like,
it was lacking.
I expected more.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. But okay, but they still, I think, for the big deal that they made out of it, they could have given it one season, because I saw that people liked it. Well, they enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm like an iguana on this issue because
what does that have to? How are you an iguana? I don't get the metaphor.
Or is it like a chameleon where, like, whose eyes are facing in two different directions?
You know what I mean? Like, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I got it.
I thought it meant that you could like adapt to different like environments.
That also.
That's a chameleon. Yeah,
that's a chameleon. Yeah.
But I mean, like, as far as like my perspective, because the people that started with the anime, right, and have seen the anime a bunch of times. Yeah, most people. Yeah, basically, you know, like Rod and shit. How about you, Miguel? Have you seen it?
Actually, no. I don't know. Who knows which one has a bigger audience? Because this is Netflix we're talking about.
The regular anime.
Because exactly. I think the regular anime is like regarded as one of the best animes out there. I don't know. Like, I've seen the anime. I haven't finished it. I haven't seen the whole thing, and I'll get into that. But I didn't finish the show either, though. Especially after hearing it got canceled. Like, fuck that. Actually, I was just double checking. Actually, because speaking of that too, like Netflix being savage, they didn't even give them a month to be out. You know, because it came out, first episode dropped November 19th, and shit got canceled, what, like December fucking 8th, right? Like a few days ago. Shit,
bro, it's crazy. So yeah, like, that's kind of what I meant. One, it definitely had potential to keep going. Two, I was all up in the comments as soon as this shit came out, just reading, you know, like the general consensus and shit. It was super mixed. Usually for anything that's like a live action anime, I've seen that people hate it. It sucks, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
There's never been any big successes. This was pretty mixed. I think it was like one of the big outlets. I don't know if it was comicbook.com or maybe CB or even IGN. No one gave it an abysmal rating. Everything was like 7 or 6 or maybe even some 8s here and there. But the people who started with the cartoon, I can see
anime, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Anime.
The people who started with the anime. I'm on F5, and holy shit, are the first 5 episodes better than that entire live action series?
Yeah.
Like, 5 episodes in, and I'm just seeing Vicious for the first time. In the live action, they shove Vicious down your throat, whether you like it or not. You're like,
yo. And he was played by the guy that was translucent on The Boys.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, I recognize.
What?
Yeah, that's him, right? That's that guy. He has a very like distinct look. I love him as an actor. Okay. Let's start from the beginning here. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite shows, not just anime.
What's your
favorite animated series? But it's definitely one of my all-time favorite shows. Period. I thought it was.
What's your favorite anime? Point blank.
My favorite anime?
Yeah, point blank.
Oh, series is Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, like top notch. That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. That's the best.
But he was saying it goes beyond that. This is his favorite fucking show, regardless of fucking anime.
Not all time favorite show, but like, you know, like top
all time.
So And I recently finished a complete rewatch. Like every few years, I'll rewatch the whole thing with the movie. It's not a complete
Damn.
rewatch until you've watched, I believe it's all 26 episodes plus the feature length,
Woo.
which still holds up, is fucking awesome.
Oh,
Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, so I just recently finished another rewatch, and it fucking still holds up. And I see it's trending on Netflix too, so people are fucking watching it.
hell yeah.
But yeah, but the show, like I love the anime so much that I watched the whole first season of the live action, and it had its charm. Like I like the way it started a little bit like
Binge
like
that shit.
Tarantino vibes and shit, and like
I do think we got to let people know out there listening exactly because the other part that we were impressed because Rod, you finished this like on a weekend or some
You
shit. Like you
binged that
binged
shit.
it.
yeah. Nah, I fucking planned that shit in advance. I'm like, when this shit comes out, I'm gonna beast on it just because I love Cowboy Bebop. But Shinichiro Watanabe, he also did Samurai Champloo. He
Oh,
did I forget the other one, but he did another one, a very jazz-oriented anime after Samurai Champloo. I fucking love his shit. But yeah, this live action show was weird. I feel like they they dropped the ball in a lot of places, but they were like they tried to be really faithful to the show. I don't know. What did you guys think?
Well,
go for it.
okay. Now on the other side, having not seen the cartoon first and starting with the live
Anime.
anime.
Yeah, dude, yo,
Sorry,
you are
cartoon.
insulting the craft.
All right,
Oh.
listeners out there, feel free to send hate mail at legiononzoom
Sorry,
at
I
gmail.com or just on Twitter or on Instagram at
apologize.
legiononzoom.com. Give Ches some hate. Make sure to Ches specific. All right, not all of us.
I blame the combination of weed and coffee. I'm highly caffeinated and also really high at the same time. So not having seen the anime first, and then I started with the live action, like as a completely isolated thing, like if I didn't know the anime existed at all, it has potential as a live action thing. Like only after me seeing the anime, I agree with Rod, and they dropped the ball in a whole bunch of places. Like if they just would have followed the format of the first 4, 5, or 6 episodes, it would have been great. But there's so much shit. Like the whole thing with Hakim was badly executed. The whole thing with Ayn was done horribly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, the way they introduced Faye, which they kind of switched up. They skipped that whole casino shit, or am I bugging?
Well, the casino, what casino shit? Because there was a casino involved in the show. At what was it in the first few episodes? No.
It was like
Yeah,
the
but-
first opening scene of the whole shit.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah. But I felt like the depth of it, like to like how they introduced Faye and the whole thing, that wasn't really done. However, I did enjoy the way they did the whole plant tree, like the eco terrorist thing. I enjoyed the live action one a little bit more, I would say.
That was cool. That was cool.
You see what I'm saying? Like it had its. They could have done one more season and then canceled it.
I don't know, because could they though? Could they? Because I will say, like, right, we're talking about the hype and all that, and we're talking. You were mentioning about the reviews earlier, but I did want to say, we've talked about Rotten Tomatoes here before. I think we feel sometimes divided. I generally like Rotten Tomatoes. I think generally we're on point. But what I love to see is that for the most part, the audience score is pretty fucking different sometimes than the like actual critic rating, no, and and they're usually positive. I think audiences in general, like, it's pretty good show, no, but nope. For Rotten Tomatoes right now, like the critic rating is at a 46%, and audience score with over almost 2,000 ratings entered, it's at 56%. So like, so the audience, half of the audience didn't like it. So, from a business standpoint, do you think Netflix is going to go like, yes, let's throw millions of dollars or however much money it costs to make a series again? No, I can see why they're like, nah, we're done. People hate this too much.
Yeah, and I don't want to, like, being such a fan of the series, I don't want to have to watch it. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna watch it if it comes out. It's like Titans. Like I'm gonna watch Titans even though it fucking sucks. Just because like the subject matter is just so like compelling for us as fans of of the source material.
Right. So, and then for me, I'm in the middle ground, I think, between, because, like, Rod is the, the hardcore fan of Cowboy Bebop. Chess has never seen it. And I'd seen the anime. I just never finished it because I liked it. I went into it like really, excited about it, and I liked it. But I don't know. I just really couldn't keep my attention for the whole, like, ongoing, like for the whole thing. A part of it is I do like how they kind of start to build the story bits by bit, I think, throughout the series. No, like, it's not, because in the Netflix version, right, it's like you're saying Vicious was from the beginning, like, boom, all right, he's the villain, you kind of have an idea what's going on. But for the anime, it really does feel like I'm just watching them go on, bounty hunts, and then stuff happens, right? Like, and
exactly.
it almost feels like I don't have to watch it like in como se dice, serialized, right? Like, I can just jump in, watch whatever fucking episode. But no, right? But then over time, things do start to connect, right? Like, finding out more about Spike's past, right? And the same thing with Jet, and then same thing with Faye, and all that kind of stuff. So then that's cool, but I just haven't been able to really be, keep up with it. But I liked it. I liked the anime. The show, nah. Like, I tried. I think the first episode, I was kind of in it. Like, I don't know. I kind of was okay with it because it felt like they're doing this very like kitschy kind of like, cheesy, corny filming. Like, they had like side angles sometimes. I felt like I was watching like almost like a Tim Burton, well, not actually, like, I don't know, like Batman Forever kind of thing. That if some scenes are like angled and close-ups, and it felt a little corny, but I was like, I was okay with it. I'm like, all right, let's see where this goes. But nah, I just straight up lost interest like a few episodes in. And I can't really pinpoint what it was. Other than it being just too cheesy, because the actors I liked them. I don't know. I think everybody did well in their role. At least the three, Faye, Spike, and Yet. What do you guys think about the actors?
Yeah,
and their
let's give some
role?
shout outs real quick, because the first thing that got me was the
word.
guy that plays Jet Black. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to be Captain Obvious, but making Jet Black just is
Makes sense.
perfection.
That makes
Especially
sense.
since the dub version of the anime was done by an African American voice actor whose name I don't have at the moment, but he's also doing voices on Super Crooks, which I'm watching right now.
Oh,
So it's good that he's still getting work out there. Shout out to Netflix. But yeah, but Mustafa Shakir plays Jet Black, and Miguel, you pointed out that he's Bushmaster from
Luke Cage. Yeah.
And I know I was like, where have I seen this guy before? Like, and then that's it. So I liked him a lot, and of course,
He's dope.
John Cho. Although I wish that they would have casted him like 10 years ago. Shout out to John Cho, though. You're the man. But yeah, and they were pretty cool, like, as a pair. And then you get, Faye, who was pretty cool as well. But yeah, and then Vicious. I don't know, man. It was kind of like comical. Like, I don't know if they were going for that, because in the anime, whenever Spike and Vicious confront each other, it's so serious. Like, oh my god, like they have a past and it's dark. But here it's like some spoofy shit. Like, right. I don't know.
Yeah, like Vicious they would have zoom ins to his face, and he's like, I am angry and fearless, I will get you. Like, okay, dude, chill, man. I don't know. Like, exactly. And in the anime, you don't really get that. In the anime, I feel like, okay, actually, so in the anime, we have I just lost their name. The fourth character, the one that's non-binary, that's Ed.
Radical,
Ed. Yeah, exactly.
Ed.
Radical Ed. I feel like in the show, almost everybody except Yet, really, I think, and Spike to some degree, everybody acts like Ed acts in the anime, like over the fucking top and just weird and ridiculous. And I feel like Vicious sometimes was like harnessing Ed energy, but like if they were bad, they were a bad person, just exaggerated, like it's too much.
Yeah,
I actually enjoyed all the characterizations in the show, like in the live action one, except for Faye. 5 episodes in, and I didn't think hers was accurate. I think they tried to rework it, and she had her moments in the live action, but it felt off. Like, I enjoyed what's his name? Mustafa Shakir?
Jet Black.
Yeah, that's I think that's fun. Yo, they could have just named him Mustafa Shakir.
Yeah.
Fuck. But yeah, he was awesome. I actually enjoyed. I felt that he was a bit more daddish in the live action than in the anime.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Great point.
They
Which, mind
added
you,
that.
I'm not saying it's bad. I actually kind of enjoyed that a little bit. I felt like at times it was a little bit overplayed. Like he was almost a parody. Like, oh, I failed to get the doll for my daughter.
Oh my
like,
god,
Oh.
I hated that because part of the charm of the anime is that these are all loners that become a family.
Right.
And then, Jet Black is like the reluctant father who actually loves them and keeps them together the most. So then having him in the live action, like actually have a daughter, I thought that they were gonna spin it and it was all make believe, like he's just
that's
lying.
made up. That whole thing was just added for the live action.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fucking stupid.
Because you're a fucking bounty hunter, like you have a 4-year-old daughter, like it just doesn't make sense. Like these characters, like they have no past, nothing to lose, and then I'm lost a lot of charm with that.
I'm glad you bring that up because I do want to get into that because I don't know. I'm glad I wanted to ask you, Rod, exactly how did they differ? Because since I didn't finish,
I meant to ask you that too.
Yeah, since I didn't finish the anime, I don't know if at some point his daughter is introduced and all that kind of stuff. Because I do remember I did see that one episode which I thought they did sort of okay. The where he's trying to find out
Black Dog Serenade.
Even the name.
I love this fucking show.
The episode name and out and everything. Yeah, with his partner actually being the one that double crossed him.
Being noir as fuck.
But like the live action version was okay. It was all right, but like the anime of that episode was fucking dope. But so then what? In what other way did they differ?
Oh, and I think the biggest ball drop, and for the Deep Cuts fans, I hope there's somebody out there that loves this fucking anime because you were looking forward to the Mad Pierrot episode because I think in the anime, I might be fucking this up a little bit, but in the anime, that episode with Mad Pierrot, I don't know if you guys saw that like Hitman.
Oh yeah, the live action, yeah.
Which I didn't enjoy in the live action, and I assume that it's way better anime.
Oh my! It's arguably one of the best, if not like in the top 3 best episodes in the actual anime, and it's because I think the creators for that episode actually invoked Batman the Animated Series, and I think this is like in interviews when they made that episode, they wanted it, and me watching it for the first time, I remember thinking, "Yo, why do I like this so much?" It's because of that whole like Neo. Fucking noir shit that they got going on, and then the creator said, "Yeah, this is like a fucking like a love letter to one of the best animated series from across the globe."
Yo, I gotta watch that episode. Yes. I gotta watch the anime because the live action sucked.
Yeah, it was fucking doo doo.
Dude, it was this weird thing. That concept? I think it's called secondhand embarrassment. Like when you feel embarrassed, but it has nothing to do with you. I felt that twice in this show during that whole thing with Matt Perot. Yeah,
cringe.
Is that what that is?
That's cringe.
Yeah, you get cringy
Yeah. He made me cringe, and mind you, I kind of enjoyed Vicious a little. Like after I got used to it, I started to enjoy the whole thing with the elders and the syndicate. I got into it. But when he appeared, the Hitman, and when Ed appeared, I cringed for some reason. Never having seen Ed yet, and that live action performance, I was like, ugh.
It caught me off guard for sure.
That's why it got canceled. Everybody's reacted to that. They're like, oh, I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that Ed introduction. I loved in the anime. I liked it. I wasn't a big fan of Ed in the anime, but like it was okay. But like. They sort of tried to do that episode right where that it's the satellite that actually gained intelligence or something, and it's actually and Ed is the one that's communicating with that. So it was a much cooler episode in the anime, and this one it was just I don't even remember what it was. It was like wasn't that the?
It was like a Vanilla Sky kind of like kind of Eternal Sunshine deal. Yeah. Also dope movies.
Facts, but dude. I'm shocked at how much they dropped the ball with Ein. It's like in the live action, they almost wanted to just have the dog in it. So they just threw the dog in there and then they just kept the show going. And then at some point, they literally just abandoned the dog.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Yeah, like he didn't become part of the crew. Like he did for like a little bit and then pew, they did.
Fuck.
I think the last episode I saw is the episode like after the guy, the what was the killer dude that the Eind is able, like he's able to communicate through Eind.
Yo.
Is that does that happen in the anime?
No, of course. Yo, the things that are most reprehensible were probably not in the anime.
Yo, anybody bet that shit in the live action when he communicates through the dog was inspired by that scene in Ghostbusters when the head of the ghost appears, the hologram?
Oh,
You remember that
Which
shit?
one?
In Ghostbusters 2, no?
2, when
Right,
he comes out of the paint.
Yeah. that was actually creepy. I remember as a kid watching that.
I bet you that was, and also, how does Spike keep surviving these crazy ass falls? Because like when Vicious, like, was there really like an explanation by how he survived after Vicious shot him?
In
Like in the live action, like he fell, bro. Like he fell. How did he survive that? It was like he just appeared at the ship and spoke to Jet. Like it was too, like there was no explanation. There was a giant gap there. Like, nah, I didn't enjoy that. It was too impractical. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, another way, and obviously spoiler alert all the way through, right? Because we're gonna spoil both the anime and the fucking live action, the turd.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Turd
I did
Bebop.
like, okay, so I'm sure someone online, some fucking 3 a.m. online person, like has broken down the differences between the live action and the anime. I can't list them all, obviously, but like one of them that actually was kind of cool was a double cross from Julia, which is like Spike's love interest or
Right, yeah.
damn, fucking drawing a blank.
Vicious. I hated that, by the way. I hated that when I came across it in the live action. Is that in the anime too?
No, it's not. But they did some things differently that I'm like, okay, like you got to make it a little different. Yeah. So
yeah, I know. The more we talk about it, I didn't know exactly just how much things were different. I thought that at least so far that some story elements were made different and kind of like squished together and
condensed and shit.
Like, but damn, they fucking so Julia doesn't double cross Spike in the anime.
No, she's actually a lot more one-dimensional in the anime. They try to make her layered here, and at the end they leave it like, oh, she's gonna take over the syndicate.
DK.
Yeah.
Like nothing was layered on the show. I think that's also one of the problems. No, that everything was pretty superficial. I think the one with the richest kind of background is Yet, because they added the family, although it was cheesy how they used that, right? But it was still like, I don't know, I think Jet Black had more of a background. I felt that like I don't know, like he was less one-dimensional than all the others, and Spike maybe a little bit, but not really.
I felt like they try to add some dimension to Faye with like she doesn't know who she is, and is that how it is in the anime for her character? Is it like a thing?
That part's in the anime.
Okay, but I don't know. I felt like the way they were pulling it off, like it tugged at the heartstring at certain parts, but I don't know. Like, fine. The more we discuss it, I can see why it got canceled. Fair enough.
Yeah, and the weird thing is that the first episode is like almost a shot for shot of the first episode of the anime. So you go into it like, okay, they still couldn't capture the scope of the anime, even with their massive Netflix budget. They still couldn't, right? But at least it seems like they're trying to mirror it. And then I think after episode 2 or 3, it starts to kind of become its own thing, adding these like backstories to Jet, to Faye, a little bit to Spike. The nickname Fearless is new. I don't know if that's in the actual Japanese, what is it, like the actual version, the Japanese language version. But
so that's not in the anime either?
In the dub version, it's not. But I thought that was cool calling him that. Like I thought that was a cool thing to add. And he looked dope, like in his like assassin John Wick mode. I don't know if it like when they show him like when he's with the syndicate hanging out.
Oh yeah. That was dope.
They're still bros.
That. Yeah.
And he has that like almost like Daredevil-esque, really long fight scene. Word. That part was cool. Like
that was pretty hot. I forgot about that for a second. I would say shit. Damn. To be honest, that might be my favorite part of the show. Like of the live action one. If you had to pick, Rob, what was your absolute favorite part of the live action?
Damn, I think it might just be that scene, maybe. And I would say the first episode overall, because I think that they did a really good job at capturing that, like, Antonio Banderas, Selma Hayek, like that's what they kind of looked like in the anime, and they kind of did
Oh yeah,
that in
facts.
the live action, that they're like these like fugitives and
Right.
shit. I think that was probably my favorite moment for the whole. Oh, and then watching the intro, of course.
Mhm.
Oh, and also, all right. And also because the intro changes in each episode. They do
Right.
something slightly different. I'm like, yo, this is jazz. This is beautiful. So that, I guess, the intro and the first episode are my favorite.
All right, Miguel, how about you? Favorite part of the live action?
I don't have any.
This is
I-
your Jupiter's Legacy.
Thank you for bringing that up because I was gonna ask. So
See what I'm saying? It happens.
do we compare Cowboy Bebop to Jupiter's Legacy? Like, which one do we think we like the most? Like,
Bebop.
I would have to say Bebop too, actually. So that's why I'm a little bit shocked that they canceled it so quickly. But as just said, the more we talk about it, the more obvious it is. Rod, Legacy or Bebop?
Man, that's rough. I don't know.
See?
They're both skippable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but gun
Fuck.
to your head. If there was someone who was willing to kill you over this choice right now,
Fuck,
And
I'll
had
take a
a gun.
Bebop just because I'm a fiend, and I'll take anything with the Bebop brand on it just because I freaking love it so much.
see, and for
Yeah,
that
makes sense.
reason, they could have made a season 2 and pulled in people like you.
Exactly. They
But
could
But I feel like,
have.
yo,
right?
with today's saturation of quality shit like Hawkeye, you don't want to have
Ooh.
turds out there, man, because it has been shown by Disney Plus that you can make high quality shit. And I'm hoping HBO with Peacemaker. I hope they have that same Disney Plus quality, which they should. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
done Cena.
And HBO has like a lot of things in the pipeline, right? Like they have, I think, the Batgirl stuff, which I don't remember if it's going to be a movie for HBO Max only, and then we have the Green Lantern Corps show series. So, and they did Watchmen, right? HBO not that long ago. It was fucking amazing. Exactly. So if you're gonna do something like this, do it right. And the other part though with this that I don't understand is seeing it how it differs with the anime. It's like, why? Like,
Yeah.
who complained about the anime and was like the creator? You said his name. I don't remember his name, but I don't think he'd be like, you did exactly what I wanted to do, or something that I just never could, or something. Or I never thought of that. Like, why? Like, jeez, what's the point of doing that?
Dude, I had the same exact thoughts. One, while we've been talking about it, and two, while watching the first 5 episodes, I'm like, if you guys followed this and condensed the story maybe just a little bit in some parts, it would have been perfect. But look, they fucking gave Jet a family that he didn't have. I'm expecting this shit to pop up
hated
during the
that.
anime. That shit was completely fucking made up altogether. I'm expecting to see some trace of Vicious, like right off the bat, or some inclination, because I think like maybe the first 2 episodes, one, you see Vicious, and two, they show you the flashback of Spike getting shot, right? In the live action, in like the first 2 episodes. I still haven't seen any of that shit. And I just saw Vicious for the first time.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I meant about that, right? Exactly, because in the live action, they immediately like try to throw the story in your face.
Yeah.
Whereas in the anime, it's kind of building up more, but like to what Rod is saying, said before, right? But the characters, we care about them a little bit more in the anime. I feel like, they're it's a ragtag team that got together, and so we kind of are in it. In the Netflix live action show, I don't know, like it was kind of like trying to show us that, but at the same time, oh look, Vicious is trying to kill Spike, and Faye doesn't know who she is, and now her mom is here, and right, like the quote unquote con artist. Which was that in the anime, the con artist mom?
Word. I meant to ask you that.
No.
What the fuck? This is a
No.
completely different thing.
Oh, yeah. Damn, I could go on forever.
Do
on
it,
how
come
yo,
on.
They dropped all the balls, like all of them on the
They
ground
dropped
right
all-
now at Netflix.
They dropped every single ball.
No, it's actually in the anime. She gets conned by an ex-lover that has like different identities. He's like a
Right.
male, like a fucking trophy husband, whatever kind of dude that just swindles women out of their money and shit like that, which is much more clever. And I don't know, man. And also,
I see what happened. They couldn't fucking they had to empower Faye, so she couldn't be swindled by a dude. Because you know what I mean? Like, oh, what? Some guy just comes in and steals her heart and yada, yada, yada. So they switched it with the mom. And then, of course, her outfit is very different from the anime. As much as they try to get every single person down to the T, they completely went another route with her. So they switched a bunch of things to not. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
right. I just don't agree that I don't know if this made her more empowered, because now instead of getting swindled by like somebody who she fell in love with, she got swindled by her mom, right? And so, which is, I think, if anything, worse. I don't know if it sounds like, I don't know.
Well,
like,
that's the thing. That's the
some
thing.
Jewel shit.
Yeah, facts. Yo, word. But that's the thing. Like in the eyes of society, like in today's times, it's better that she gets swindled by a con artist who's pretending to be her mom than for a woman to be swindled by a man.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And I'm actually seeing, oh, right. And we haven't given a shout out, because that's Daniela Pineda. She's actually of
I enjoyed her.
Paisana. She's of Mexican, well, heritage, you know, but she's from California. She's from Oakland. Yeah. And I agree about the costume. I remember hearing people online on the interwebs, right, complaining about her look, that it doesn't look like the anime. I was okay with that, because I felt like the anime is really, really like exaggerated, you know? And I'm like, that's not gonna work in live action, no matter like how you play it, you know. So I'm like, I'm okay with, but I feel like her personality could have still been more Faye-ish.
No, exactly. Yeah, like, I'm not complaining about the outfit. I enjoyed it, but I felt like they try to make her very brash and abrasive. But like, I felt like in the cartoon anime, there was no space in it this time. Fans, if you go on YouTube and you look at my jug, I've been drinking a lot of coffee and I'm almost done. Hence why I'm fucking up here. So, so I felt like in the anime, she was way more suave and clever. You get what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like they tried too hard with her. Like that. Okay, I guess that's where it is right there. They tried too hard.
Yo, I thought she was like Japanese or something, like Japanese American. That's interesting that she's a Mexican.
Daniela Pineda.
Yeah, she was good. I didn't like necessarily like the adaptation, because all right, let's just put it this way: this show could have succeeded.
That's what I meant right there.
Had it been like just shot for shot, like the first episode attempted to do, just do the whole thing that way, right? But I liked her like as an actress in the show. I feel like she was really cool, like just to watch. And they did shoehorn a relationship for her with the other woman, the mechanic, right? And
right,
that was new. That it was hot, but it was also new, and it kind of like. Granted, it wasn't a major plot point in the anime, but there's like an underlying thing between Faye and Spike in the anime. It's never like out there in the open, but you know, Deep Cut fans, you guys know what's going on. Like when he at the end, he goes on his, you know what? I won't even spoil it, because I think you guys should. If you haven't finished the anime yet, I think that is where it's at right there. If you want to experience this shit that Shinichiro Watanabe created way back in, I think 1996. I think it was released. Check that out. Fact check me. You need to watch it in anime format, and you know, if you want to fucking listen to the original voice acting, to be a true OG. I personally really like the dub. I think it's one of the highest quality dubs we've ever had here in the US.
1988 it came out.
98. Shout out to Steve Blum, who voiced Spike Spiegel and like Wolverine. Like forever. Like he's
really?
Yeah, he did Wolverine in the X-Men. He did like the video games.
That gruff ass Wolverine is Spike Spiegel.
Yep, same dude. And this guy he's done everything. If you look up his resume, he's been every character fucking like under the sun.
And we had, as you were mentioning earlier, you didn't have the name, but for Jet Black, we have a John Bo Billingsley is the voice actor for Jet in the anime. And as you said, for a bunch of other shit too.
But yeah, yo, let's rate this shit. And people are listening. They want to fucking know, what does the LoZ think?
Damn.
Since we were talking about Jupiter's Legacy, it would be good for us to remember what our ratings were for that. But those are one of the lowest.
I still say it's invalid because just gave it a 0.
Fuck that. I stand by it.
It should be from 1 to 10. You cannot have 0.
Yo, I will physically fight you for my right to keep that 0 on record. Fuck that. All right, but wait, before we rate it, I want to make an important point. I want to give this 2 ratings. I want to rate it compared to the anime and on its own, because it's an adaptation.
That's not
no. Just count one. But I want to make like a statement rating, like, and I'll get that one out of the way.
Wait, what's going on? What kind of? You lost me.
Real quick, on its own.
This is
on
very
its
bureaucratic.
Wait, on its own. OD. Had I never seen the anime, I give this shit like a 6.5.
All right, that's a good point. I see what you're saying exactly. So for listeners out there, you've never seen the anime, you've just seen the hype for the show. Going in, because you're right. If you know the source material, you're gonna criticize it the fuck more, right? And so, okay, so if you've never seen the show, you're giving it a 6.5. The anime,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Like just by itself, before I hit play on my playlist on the anime, it held a solid 6.5. After
we're rating the anime or we're rating the show?
No, the show.
This is
right,
the show before I ever saw the anime. Now,
okay, go.
My genuine rating, now that both are in my mind, like a 5.
All right.
Because it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
You're right. It wasn't terrible. You're right. Like, it wasn't terrible. It just for me, like, I just stopped watching it, and now that it got canceled, I'm not gonna keep watching. I just didn't really give a fuck. Actually, in a good chunk of actually the last 2-3 episodes that I watched it for you guys and the listeners out there, because we had said we were gonna do this episode, we were gonna review it. So I'm like, fuck it, And actually, like, right, I just traveled. I was gone for a week and shit. I was forcing myself to watch it. I was packing and shit, like getting ready to go. Like, I'm like, that's something I'll just have in the background. So it's like, if it wasn't for that, and if it wasn't for us for the show, I would have stopped after episode 2 probably.
Damn.
I give it, because of that, I will give it a 4.
Damn, facts. I think that's how they sold it in the boardroom too. Like, it's not terrible. should we make it?
Yo, I feel and anyone listening, if you disagree with me, please let us know. Netflix, their shows are subpar. Like, I rather watch CW. I rather watch the whole CW verse than all of Netflix. Like, there's a CW app versus the Netflix app. I'm gonna click on the CW app more.
Bro, but you're talking about the superhero shows on Netflix, right? Not everything else. That's fucking
everything.
Nah, bro, why did you bugging
me?
Wait. First of all,
we can just start saying epic shows. All right. Mindhunter. All right, Chess, go. Another good show.
Dark.
Boom. Perfect.
Never heard of any of these shows.
Ozark. Ozark's a great show. Narcos. Mexico and Colombia.
I'll give you that.
CW better than that.
Their best shows were Daredevil, fucking Luke Cage. Those are the Punishers. Those are the best shows ever. No, best shows on Netflix.
Nah, you bugging.
I'm making the argument.
But I will agree. I will agree. I will agree that all the, especially after the Marvel shows, all the superhero comic book shows on Netflix, pale in comparison to even CW, man, for real.
Oh wait, top 3 Netflix shows. It has to be Daredevil. Has to be number 1.
Daredevil, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll say Daredevil's number 1, but the other 2 aren't necessarily like the other Marvel shows.
What do you got?
I would say you're at number 2. Let me see. Wait, at number 2. Damn. I've been watching.
You can't even think about it. No.
Speak not.
No, because there's so much good stuff. Shit. Yeah.
Castlevania.
Fire. Exactly. Look at that. Look at you naming some other shit.
Exactly.
So much. You literally just proved our point.
It's the only
wrong.
Other good shit. That's why we're gonna review it right now.
Watch Dark. People, listen. If you want your mind fucked, and I'm talking about like spit on your butthole fucked, watch Dark. Holy shit.
Well, at least there's spit.
Yo, that show.
It's a little bit of lube, okay.
You can ask Miguel, he can verify he's a doctor.
Yes, I am.
Bro.
Yes, I am.
He's certified for this.
Dark is one of the craziest fucking fictional shows I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, actually, Rod, we recommend that to you too. It's a sci-fi show, but it's a trip. It's German, and it's. Did you watch it dubbed or with subtitles? There's only subtitles, right? Because I saw it.
No, and I saw it dubbed. I'm not watching fucking that shit in German. That show's so complex.
No. I saw it subtitles. I loved it even more, man. Just hearing the actors in German, like it's just it's awesome. But Rod, what's your rating for Cowboy Bebop?
Oh man, damn! Nostalgia is huge on this. Like I can't be of two minds like Ches on this. I can. I just.
That's where I got lucky, though. That's the thing. I watched the live action first, which I've said it before. It's weird. I got lucky that way because had I watched the anime first and then seen this shit, I would. Oh my god, I would have done it.
Some would say you were not lucky, that you were.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
terrible that you didn't see the anime.
That's deep.
What's wrong with you?
And then like how relevant like is just this review overall now that it's canned. Like most people probably won't even watch it.
No.
Who knows?
Don't try to talk your way out of this right there.
No, I'm not. I had my.
I think for posterity, I think it just matters for the legionnaires out there listening, watching us. They need to know. They want to know. So what is it, Rod?
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Bringing our total to a 4.6. So
Damn.
5 if you round up.
5. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's as totally understandable as to why it got canceled by Netflix. Now I get it. But not to move in the other direction because it got name dropped as opposed to Cowboy Bebop, which was a adaptation into the live action from an anime. Let's go from, what would you call this? Has there ever been a Castlevania anime before this? It was a video game anime, right?
Yeah, this is the first Castlevania anime that I'm aware of. Unless there's some like deep cut shit somewhere.
Which is insane because although the person who proposed the Cowboy Bebop adaptation was like, it's not terrible, the person who proposed the adaptation of Castlevania should get a fucking raise. Because that shit is also a Netflix original and it's fucking mind blowing.
Yeah, but we've been holding back on this one because we all watched it some time ago, probably by now. And this is it. This was its like 4th and final season, right?
Yep.
Yeah, facts.
So we're gonna review the whole thing.
Facts. And this shit, you can't really talk about Castlevania without making a blatant comparison to another anime GOAT, which is Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, I mean Castlevania is like a video game, right? Its popularity comes from the video game, fucking Konami, Nintendo, all that, and then it just fucking reached like its pinnacle with Symphony of the Night. I mean, many would argue not that it's still improving, but I feel like Symphony of the Night is where like the whole franchise just hit fucking gold status. It was fucking awesome, and this anime is actually based off of the events prior to Symphony of the Night. So this would be Castlevania 2, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Anyway,
because of this anime, we've gone down a whole like Castlevania rabbit hole. We even started playing Castlevania games on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound like
Laments,
a vampire.
what is it? Some epic emo shit.
Every single Castlevania title is depressing and beautiful at the same time. Fucking like acquiescence of sadness or some shit. I don't even know. I just made that up, but that's probably a title.
I would buy that Castlevania.
All right, just to be sure in terms of how it goes with the game, though, you're right. So actually, to make it clear, right, exactly. So the first 2 seasons adapt the 1989 entry Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, which obviously focus on Trevor Belmont, Alucard, and Sypha. Right, what was her name? Sypha? I forgot. Sypha. Right, and all that. And so I think that's the main thing. And then they add elements from the 2005 entry of Castlevania, which is Curse of Darkness. And they take Alucard's backstory from Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
So it's kind of like a hodgepodge of the games, but in this new anime Castlevania verse, which I pray they keep expanding because there's so many Belmonts that they could go through if they're just starting at what's his name?
Well, the first Belmont for it was Trevor for this.
Trevor from the anime.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, but Richter is going to be for the new series. So although this series ended, they're making like either.
Oh, they are.
So season 5 or a spinoff, however you want to call it, is going to focus on Richter Belmont, which in at the end, obviously spoiler alert, right at the end, right? It's we find out that Sypha is pregnant and they're going to name the kid Richter.
Oh, I forgot about that. And fans,
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, word.
there's this channel on YouTube called The Leaderboard that does these like giant videos about lore and family trees. And they've done a few good ones about the entire family tree of the Belmonts and the Castlevania games, because that shit is expansive. Like, they can make another 3 or 4 series past the one that's already coming up, just off of different people from the Belmont clan and different people to hold the whip, which is like on its own one of the main characters in the series. And also, as you saw, Dracula does come back. He's just chilling with his wife somewhere. So somehow, people are gonna find a way to kill his wife again, because motherfuckers don't learn, and then the cycle starts. Because that's really
That
the only way I see it
Magneto
happening
shit.
again. Yeah, exactly.
In the movies, like somebody would always die tragically and shit, and then he gets really pissed off. That should happen like in every. This is the Michael Fassbender version.
Facts.
But
And
and also
I
in,
would-
in the Wolverine origin show, remember too, like he was like a lumberjack, and then they fucking kill his like his wife allegedly.
right.
Anyway,
yeah, bro, people be bugging. Like, you
going
can't send a
on?
man like on a quest for vengeance. I was surprised by like how grand the show got when they started introducing like the vampire sisters and all of that. I'm not gonna front. I kind of got confused.
Yeah, no, I loved it though, because I felt like Castlevania just the series just made it feel exactly like that, like the world, right? There's a world and it's fucking alive, and at some point I'm also trying to keep track of like wait, who are the sisters? What region were they from? And then how did they gain power after Dracula's death? Like I don't know, because it almost felt almost Game of Thrones, like, but with fucking vampires. That's awesome.
And the relationship between the Forge Masters, that shit is philosophical as fuck. And because if I'm not mistaken, that's their relationship is tied in to Castlevania 1, I think. The Forge Masters were characters in the first Castlevania, Isaac and whatever the fuck his name was, or in like the early Castlevanias. Because there was somebody who actually became Dracula. I don't even think they address it. I think they take like a separate route in the anime itself. But if I'm not mistaken, the 2 Forge Masters, they were like integral characters in like the very first of the games. I forgot who they fought from the Belmont clan. And I think it was Leon Belmont or some shit like that. The family tree is fucking expansive.
Yo, exactly.
We never reviewed this, right? We never reviewed any of the seasons. That's crazy.
I don't think we ever
touched on it. Like we mentioned, like, yeah, that shit is dope. But like, it's now that we're actually diving into this rabbit hole of fucking gore that is.
Yeah, we should have done it fresh, but fuck
right.
it. You'll get our blurry memories because we're oversaturated with fucking animes and shit.
Hell yeah.
It's hard to keep track of shit now.
Yo, actually, if you're listening right now and you're like, fuck Cowboy Bebop, I'm not gonna watch them. I don't know what else to watch. If you haven't seen Castlevania, watch it. Highly, highly recommend it. I loved it. I think from beginning to end, it was such a great series. And if anything, actually, it might be best to binge watch all the seasons. Because like I remember when I started the last season, I had to kind of go back and watch some of the season 3 stuff and be like, wait, what happened? Where did things end off? But it was so fucking good. Also, I get shout out to I think something we haven't mentioned though, which is very much related to our comic book world, because the head writer for Castlevania is Warren Ellis, who is come on, like he's one of the greats, I think, in terms of comic book writers. He's done some crazy stuff. He's written, for Astonishing X-Men, he's on Thunderbolts, Moon Knight, the Extremis arc of Iron Man, which is like what was the kind of like the premise for Iron Man 3, which was
Iron Man 3.
Not a good movie, but an amazing story arc. He also created the Authority, who are actually the Authority characters are right now like teaming up with Superman. If you're reading the Superman books right now, he's also done Hellblazer. So I think that helped for him to be such a good writer for the show, right? To not make it just like, I don't know. Because I was worried at first, like an anime from Netflix, like, I don't know. How is it going to be? But nah, man, fucking knocked it out of the park.
Word. Yeah, he nailed it. Because it's like, it's one of those animes where the action scenes are over the top and incredible to watch. Right? So you're hoping that the talky parts don't like bore the fuck out of you. And it's gonna happen a lot with animes, like the old school Dragon Ball Z's, where they used to discuss the fight like for 3 episodes before engaging in the fight and shit like that. So but bringing in somebody like Warren Ellis, who's had a career in writing comic books, like just to formulate the story and to make it expansive, so that he can keep branching off into further seasons. Because like when I imagine when they made the first season, which blew me away. It's like 4 episodes, I think. That shit blew me the fuck away. And then it wasn't until they noticed how good it was that they were like, okay, let's keep going. Like this is fucking awesome. Unlike Cowboy Bebop, this shit like just keep getting better. I think it was season 3 where they started to get it a bit like layered with the characters being Game of Thrones-esque, where it lost me. I'm not gonna lie, but I think you guys were like, "Nah, stick through it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really good." And it does pay off if you get through some of the
Hell
character
yes.
building, which can get a little slow. I think it's season 3. And you get beyond that, and also like for Alucard, like he literally gets fucked like in season 3, but he comes back. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but it was fucking sick.
Dude, she got confusing as soon as they introduced the alchemist Saint Germain, who's trying to create the rebus. Like, yo, all the shit from the show is starting to come back to me. Like when you guys were talking, like how like my files were starting like to open and shit. Like I'm feeling the show like just starting to leak back. So when they introduced Saint Germain and shit, who was trying to find like the portal to find his love, and he had to create the rebus, that shit got confusing.
Yeah.
But if you took time to like slowly absorb it, dissect it and shit, just like Rat said, like we told them, like the show grew on you because Trevor Belmont himself, he's a bit of a dick, but he's super likable. He's one of those characters. Like he's dry as fuck, but for some reason, he's a really likable character. And Alucard is one of the sexiest fictional characters in history, if not the sexiest character ever made. Like,
Oh.
like he's a walking Calvin Klein commercial.
Damn, sexiest character ever.
Dude, then Alucard from that anime?
No, I'm posing it as a question to whoever's listening. Like, who
Like,
the fuck?
fuck. Like,
Who do you
what?
pick?
Yo, beyond, I can't, dude. Like, he's dreamy, he's lean, he's like a Robert Pattinson, but like not really.
A
I
little bit
don't
of
know.
David Bowie in there.
Yeah, facts. Like he checked
Yeah,
all,
definitely.
he checked all the sexy boxes. But the art, I know there's anime, but anime is a broad category. You know what I mean? Like if you look at like the Cowboy Bebop anime, for example, since we just finished speaking about it, even though it's what, like 22 years old, um, it's not exactly peak quality anime. And when you look at the artistry that went into making Castlevania, and I'm not blaming this on like 1040p or whatever the fuck, it's like it's fine art in motion. It's crazy. Like two of my favorite scenes in that series were out of the three sisters, when the one that's like a bit more masculine than the other ones, the big
Yeah, the
one.
jacked one.
Yeah,
Dope.
when she puts on her armor to fight in the daylight against the villagers
Yes.
and butchers everybody. Oh my god, that's one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen. And then when I think is Isaac fights the other sister in the room and the floor's full of blood.
Oh, dope.
Bro, those two scenes are some of the best animation I've ever seen. Like I was stunned watching this shit. Like I had to rewind it. I don't often rewind like to go back to shit. Those scenes were amazing. The artistry was off the hook. It was wild.
Hell yeah. I think in season 3 the animation got a little sloppy, I felt at some
Yeah.
points. But I think it did pick up definitely for the end for season 4. But overall, even if it got a little sloppy, yeah, it was so fucking epic to watch. And as we're saying with the characters, you're saying that Trevor was dry, but he's like a likable, like classic, bad guy, good guy kind of thing. What I loved about the show is like how all the other characters were fucking fascinating too. And you mentioned right now Isaac. For me, he was one of my favorite characters. I like the Forge Master. So for people listening, if you didn't watch the show, you should watch it. These are two humans basically that work with Dracula to create demons and ghouls and everything for his army. Because it basically you need a human, Forge Master can do it, and it's fucking epic. Their whole story, their whole arc, because they by the end of the series, they're not the same people they were at the beginning. So it was intense. So I loved all that.
Yeah.
And
because that's part like they're introduced when there's like all these characters being introduced into the show and it gets kind of complicated. But I feel like if you stick to their stories, like it definitely pays off in the end. Because Isaac is the one that self-flagellates, right?
Yes,
And what's
right.
the other one?
Isaac's the black one, and then Hector is the other one
fuck,
that got that
you.
that he ended up becoming the pet of one of these three
Yes.
sisters, right? That he had this wedding ring on that just
Oh my
forced him,
god!
and he was like
dude.
naked in a cell for.
Yo, whose story's more epic out of the two Forge Masters? Because if you think about it, they had two separate tales.
Nah,
you know?
Isaac.
Yeah,
Isaac.
facts.
I would say just what?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say he had fucking, what do you call that shit from fucking Shakespeare? Like soliloquy or some shit like that, like those like dialogues that he would have on his own. It's like, fuck, that shit was deep, son. Like I was questioning life. That shit was crazy.
And
his
especially
combos with the captain on the ship.
yes,
Bro,
so
philosophical
good.
discourse.
Yo, the writing was ridiculous. Oh shit. I almost forgot fucking the animation in season 1 when they would animate like the church and the priest on that like neo-gothic shit, like the contrast. It was one of the few times where like I felt maybe like some slight, like I was felt like a little bit scared by a cartoon. Like, you know how like when you watch like a good horror
anime,
movie,
bro.
fuck
Yo.
yeah, anime. Yo, I'm
Damn.
slacking. Fuck. I'm gonna self-flagellate after this episode, I promise.
Yes, you should do it. They should do it right now on air, or not on air, but whatever, on Zoom for the world to see.
Put that shit behind a paywall. That's how you get started.
Oh,
Self-flagellation.
sign up for our Patreon upcoming for exclusive flagellation content.
Facts, yo. I should don't get people.
Man.
Yeah, but the animation of like Dracula's demons and when they were attacking the church, and I felt like the tone of the show got a bit lighter as it went, as it got more story focused. But season 1 and 2, like legit, I think it got a little bit lighter. Dude, the first 2 seasons of Castlevania,
Bro, the whole shit is dark as fuck.
No, the whole shit is
What
dark
are you
as
talking
fuck.
about? And then it ends on a light note. I mean, don't forget, like Alucard's arc with the twins, Hector, and his arc with one of the sisters. Like all that shit is mad. It's just terrible. Like
No, it is terrible.
Like,
no. It is.
Chaz is like, oh, that's all light,
No,
you know.
like, what are you talking about?
It is terrible, but I'm saying is like there's more dialogue though. Like that's the thing. I felt like in season 1 and 2, it's like I was playing Doom. It was like gore nonstop.
yeah, because they expanded the number of episodes.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, not that it got better for the, for people overall, because even historically speaking, like in reality, that region of Europe in time was fucking trash. Like, that shit was horrible. But
I guess to your point though, I think what you're saying, I get what you're saying, because like in obviously spoiler alert for people out there, that because I think the pace of the gore changes once Dracula is killed.
Exactly.
Because it's awesome, because when Dracula's fucking pissed and fucking out, like I'm gonna fucking kill all these fucking humans, I don't give a fuck, and it's intense. But then when he gets killed, and then they starts the infighting amongst the vampires, and they branch off to different things, and then because we did have that whole time when Trevor and Sifa were like, we're just gonna
helping
roam
people.
Yeah, we're just gonna help, and it starts to
like,
get fucked up though as they keep going, because then we get Saint Germain, and then also like Alucard, because also like with Alucard finally he killed his dad, which is dark as fuck. But then at that point he's like, all right, I'm just chilling, which eventually leads to this fucking awkward threesome, right? Where he's with, are they brothers and sisters, right? Like this. It was this incestual threesome that then they try to kill him.
If that doesn't sell you on this show, I don't know what will.
Come on, incestual vampiric threesome with an assassination attempt. So yeah, like that's what I meant. Like, but
it's light though. It's light.
Yeah. Like the other seasons ebb and flow, but like the first 2 seasons are like gore and darkness wrapped up on 11. It's just like the whole fucking way. You barely see the sun, which I love. It was dope. But I enjoy the more fleshed out part. Like you get to breathe a little bit. Like I felt exhausted at the end of season 2. Like I feel for those people. Fuck. But overall, dude, it's one of the best animes ever. Should we rate this some bitch or no?
Yeah, and I agree with all the shit about it being like the highest quality anime out there. I think it really is. Madhouse Studios, they've done brilliant shit throughout time. Ever since like anime hit us in the West, like Madhouse Studios has been like at the top of the list and the highest
What other shit have
quality
they done?
animation.
Is it Madhouse or Powerhouse?
Is it Powerhouse?
I think it's Powerhouse. I'll say Powerhouse Animation Studios joined the team and product with the production with Netflix. So Powerhouse.
I gotta see if they're affiliated with Madhouse. Or am I just
Yeah, right. Because I remember
what's the
something
word?
about
Let me
that.
see.
Right.
Well, there's no such thing as Madhouse at all.
No, Madhouse is one of the other famous one, right? Or no?
Yeah. Let's see.
Madhouse anime. I know, bro. Wait.
No, Madhouse. Okay, they got, which is very similar stylistically to this. They got fucking Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust,
You see, I have look.
Death
Death Note. Love that.
Ninja
I never saw
Scroll,
Death Note. Oh
which,
shit!
you know, I want to.
Damn.
Yeah. What wasn't Death Note? Well, it was on Netflix, so it's not a Netflix specific show. But then they made a live show.
Let's touch on that right before we rate this shit. Let's quickly do, because we gotta address the elephant in the room about
William Dafoe.
What?
Now he was in Death Note. Didn't he play the demon? I think we were talking about
I
that
think you
first.
said William Dafoe. I don't know who the fuck that is, but like,
Wait, isn't that his name?
No,
Is
Willem. Willem, not William.
Really?
Willem.
It's Willem?
Willem, not William.
My whole life.
It's not Billy Dafoe. Like Willie
Billy
Dafoe.
Dafoe.
That's pretty dope. Billy Dafoe. I got it.
But yeah, all the adaptations so far of animes, I think they've all have sucked. Nobody has gotten it right. Although I feel like Bebop maybe is the least of the suck.
Yeah, I agree.
Although I didn't see Death Note. I didn't see Ghost.
I heard it sucked. I heard it sucked.
I obviously did not see Dragon Ball.
No.
Oh my god.
I mean, we did, because we did watch Shang-Chi, which the last 15 minutes of that shit is Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, done right.
Like,
Yo,
it basically,
epically.
yeah. Like, it is literally Dragon Ball Z. The last 15 minutes of Shang-Chi.
Maybe like Hollywood should just like quit on that one. Like just drop that one.
No, I
don't know.
Yeah, that one should be given a break, and we should get a professional take at Street Fighter, finally. Like, I think we're overdue for another chance, but they should let Dragon Ball Z rest a minute.
Bro,
maybe let some other people be born.
And then Street Fighter is a video game adaptation, right? So that's a whole other fucking conversation.
I mean,
but like, do we want to see a Street Fighter adaptation? We just got a Mortal Kombat one not that long ago, which we pretty much panned, the three of us. We reviewed it kind of hard. It's like, no, I don't trust right now Hollywood making a live adaptation of either a game or an anime, honestly.
Okay, fine, fair enough. I mean, also, I do have a theory. I have
a Mario coming out though with
I think
Chris Pratt.
Yep.
I wait. It's not going to be animated though. From
but it's
games?
an animated. Yeah, it's animated.
Yeah,
so kind of like Castlevania, right?
Yo, real quick, shout out to the live action Mario movie with Dennis Hopper as Bowser, John Leguizamo as Luigi, and what's his name? Bob something as Super Mario.
I'm on it. I don't fucking remember, man.
I forgot who played Super Mario. I just remember that John Leguizamo was Luigi.
I remember watching
Dennis
that
Hopper
shit like
was Bowser.
once and thinking it was terrible as a kid. Like, this sucks.
Bob Hoskins.
Thank you. I was gonna say Hoskins, but I didn't want to get it wrong. I've seen that movie so many times.
Well, he was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
word. It's one of the best movies ever. Time.
Yo, R.I.P. man, Bob Hoskins.
OD. Man, where the fuck was I going with this shit before we got right there? What was I saying?
You just wanted to mention the Mario movie. You always want to mention it whenever you get a chance.
Fine.
All-time favorite movies, Mario.
No, yeah. It's one of them. It's a guilty pleasure. But it's like, you know what? It's for some reason I don't know why no one can get that shit right. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. My theory is, aside from that, because they do mostly kind of suck, I think that the anime audience at times are not gonna front, because of the online separation, can be unnecessarily harsh too, bro.
Babe,
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like the people who love anime, like that crowd, they're like, it's gonna be like, even if they made a good adaptation into live action, it wouldn't be accepted. I don't know what it is. That crowd is vicious.
I don't know,
I made it
bro.
fun.
I don't know, bro. I think a big part of that is that we haven't gotten a good
Yeah, I
adaptation.
think that's what it is, man. There's no Kevin Feige of anime live action adaptation. They
Damn, you
need one.
imagine?
It has to be a Feige on all levels of creativity, just fucking giving us the best.
Or they should just let Feige handle anime.
Damn.
Just straight up.
He needs to clone himself and then have them do like DC. All that other
Facts.
shit.
Just clone him. All right, so let's rate Castlevania. Honestly, on a scale from 1 to 10, so I give that shit like an 8.5, yo.
So we're rating, but we're rating the whole series, the whole season.
8.5.
8.5. I'm gonna give that. Whew,
I don't give it a 9 because that whole shit with Saint Germain fucking threw me off, bro.
Because season 3. I won't give it.
Yeah. It was weird. It was weird.
Nah, I'll give it a 9 anyway because it just ended so well. I have really almost, I don't know, like the Saint Germain stuff was a little weird, but I still really loved the last season. So yeah, I'm giving it a 9.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with a solid 8.
Oh, so
That is a pretty high rating.
giving us an 8.5. LoZ.
See,
Yeah,
well
so
deserved.
watch that.
Yeah, facts. Watch the shit out of it. Watch it slowly. Be careful with season 3, but stick through it. Stick fucking
it's
through
worth
it.
It pays off.
OD. And we are definitely gonna come back at you with the fucking overall review of the next series when it comes out on some other Halloween, and we're looking forward to it. So, gentlemen,
Yeah, quick honorable mention to Super Crooks.
Oh,
which
facts.
is a comic book by Mark Miller and Francis Lionel Yu, which they adapted. I think it was supposed to be part of a Jupiter's Legacy verse because you do see, yeah, but I don't know if it's supposed to like be like concurrent. Like these events are happening in the live action world. I don't know.
I just meant like
just adaptations.
I think it was part of like just like his whole deal with Netflix.
Oh, but I'm saying like if they're in the same universe.
As the show, as the series that got canceled.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is comic book wise, it is within the Jupiter's Legacy universe,
right.
and so we don't know. Are they gonna come out? Are we gonna see the character from Jupiter's Legacy, like for instance, in the animated show, or they're gonna make an animated Jupiter's Legacy, and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, because Utopian is in it, so I just wanted to mention because it's an anime, like it is very much in the anime style. So I checked it out. So like. I'm getting good vibes about it. I think it's pretty cool. So if you guys are looking for other shit, I recommend that. Maybe we can review it in a future episode.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I will.
To piggyback on that, I'm an episode in on Super Crooks, and all I'm gonna say to people is watch that shit because I'm getting Invincible vibes. Rod, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. But not as good, unfortunately.
No, not as good. Not as good.
Yeah, but that's high praise. Invincible.
Totally.
Yeah. Episode 1 ends with a Rod, once again, like, correct me if I'm wrong. There's a moment. There's a few moments in episode 1. Like, oh shit, it's good. So we're definitely gonna talk about Super Crooks. Facts, like, well worth an anime mention. Surprisingly good. All right, folks. Love you guys. This is Chaz.
Yo, it's Miguel.
This is Rod. Peace out.
Peace.